We are back. I'm trying to make sure I end the live the right way this time.
And I'm glad I didn't say anything crazy last time.
Yeah, so. I'm glad I didn't either. Thanks to my wife for calling me. Appreciate that. Yeah, good looking now. Yeah. But yeah, today I'm feeling good. We're talking about diets today. We got a few stories to get into. We have some topics, some fun topics for you all to get into. We have a poll going on right now. Hey, do you think your diet is very healthy? Yes or no? So just put it in there where you think your diet is. Any cheat meals we may talk about, we can get into that. But yeah.
Any specific questions that you might have about something? I'm not an expert. I'm not a dietitian or nutritionist or anything like that. I will just share my experience, what I do. I know it's what Z and I are going to get into here in a minute, but that's the biggest thing. We just want to share what's worked for us. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it works for you. If not, and I will also tell you that one of the ways that I kind of got into this was, or kind of where I go is I get the topics in my mind and I do my own research. You know, I use kind of ironic as it sounds, Twitter, X, if you want to call it that, to follow things and look up things, you know, get ideas and topics and then kind of go down that rabbit hole on specific things. So,
we'll get into it. So I'm start with you, E. So when it comes to diets, one, how do you feel about diets? And two, are you on any diets right now?
Diets, I don't want to call it that. I want to call it like maybe a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Yeah. I try to eat healthy. I'll kind of hinted at it last episode. You know, my highest, the heaviest I ever been was like 199, right? Mm-hmm. So I had gone to the doctor for a physical. I'd never seen this doctor before, and I go in and they nurse, you know, blood pressure, all those things, and blah, blah, blah. How tall are you? What do you weigh? And all that. So she leaves, doctor comes back in and he was like, all right, Mr. Weiss, so you're 5'7" and you weigh, you know, like 190 plus. And he's like, you know, you're obese. And I wanted to like stand up and be like, slap this dude, you know? I mean, like, it's one thing to be like, man, you're a little overweight or something. But when he just straight up was like, you're obese, dude, like that kind of hit me between the eyes. Yeah. Anyway, but what we got into talking about there was like the biggest thing that he pointed out and made me realize was the first thing that I did to cut out of my diet at that time, and we're talking like 15, 20 years ago, was soda. I love Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew, yeah.
I was not drinking diet, but I would drink. So my day would consist of, this was back when I had my own company with my partners, Treadmill Medic. Shout out to them, Chris and Pat Whiter. But I would do the delivery and service side, but I would start every morning with a 32-ounce Polar Pop. And then I would have at least one more refill throughout the day. And so what the doctor got me to realize is the excess calories that were in that soda basically made up an entire other meal. So, you know,
a lot of sugar in there too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's honestly the biggest thing that I've noticed. And I've tried to, when I talk about eating clean and eating healthy is really for me is avoiding sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, I'm not on anything right now. You know, I mentioned to you before the show, I did do a fast recently. I've kind of done some research about that and found, at least wanted to try out and see what it did for me. You know, I just came off a 72-hour fast. The only thing I was drinking was water with some electrolytes and coffee, just black coffee, which is actually what I drink every morning anyway. But so.
Okay. Yeah, I remember doing the fast last year. We were talking about the mini, and you brought it up, like doing I think it was a 48-hour fast. My first time ever trying it, and it actually did work. Even though during the fast I had a big meeting downtown, and they had ordered a bunch of food. And my manager was asking me, "So aren't you going to eat?" I said, "No, I'm getting ready for a fast." She gave me a look like, "Really, you're not going to?" I was like, "No, I'm not going to eat." You know, but I'm glad I didn't, because it did reset my body, and it was something different to my body. I definitely worked my body up, and the weight that I lost and whatever it did to my body, you know, what fasting can do, definitely I still affect me to this day. So I'm definitely going to do it again and preparing for the mini, and probably just do it another time as well, because it's good to do.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I've been thinking more and more about it. I've probably done, at least 48 hours. I think that's the minimum for me that I would recommend. And here's what I found out from reading. After 24 hours of fasting, and I'm talking like, a full 24 hours, again, you can drink water, you can drink coffee. Ultimately, what you're not supposed to take in are calories.
Right.
Right. Some people will do a water fast. There's a lot of fasting in religion when you go back and look at it. There's a lot of religions that, that do fasting, does fasting. But at 24 hours, what I've read is that will reset your biome in your gut. And it will turn over the bacteria that's in your gut, kind of reset that, get out flush out the bad, and allow you to replace it with the good. 48 hours is where they talk about, you really start to see and feel a lot of the mental benefits of it, the clarity within your mind, within your thinking. And then at 72 is where you'll see a lot of people talk about ketosis, but where your body starts to attack or to go after the bad cells in the body, and can kind of repair and heal itself that way and get rid of some of those damaged cells, that we have in our bodies. But I mean, that's kind of the history and like what I learned about it. But, you were talking, I felt lighter.
I definitely felt lighter. And like people, think, oh, I'm not eating like that. I was drinking water and taking electrolytes, but my energy was there. My energy was there. I felt good. And, also too, at the end, I felt like I had really accomplished something. I really done something for my body, and you only as good as what you put into your body.
Absolutely.
You got to put the right fuel in, and sometimes you need to reset it. Just like a computer, you need to restart it, whatnot. So I definitely felt good, and I was definitely, even more prepared for that race. It does something to you mentally as well. I'll let you get into the scientifics of that, but it definitely did. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing it again. But my diet, as E said, is a lifestyle. You got to pay attention to what you put into your body because you are what you eat. Pretty much my routine before I came over, before we got set up today, I always do every Sunday, I do my meal prep for me and my wife. And it's always usually some baked item like baked, fish or baked chicken. And we'll do one or the other for either lunch and dinner. And then I usually have like either veggies, sweet potatoes and rice. But that's usually what we'll eat for lunch and for dinner. So, but yeah, no, that's usually my routine for lunch. And then that way we have pretty good, very healthy meals for the main part of the day. Because for breakfast, I'm usually drinking, my little Zoa drink here. That will be one of our future sponsors at some point in time. And I'm usually having like a banana or apple or so for breakfast. I don't like to eat too much, nothing too heavy for breakfast. I might get some oatmeal every now and then, but that's usually what I consist of. So the main thing that I have to pay attention to is in between, is like the snacking or making sure I'm going to the pantry that I'm not about to grab anything, I shouldn't be grabbing chips or something, or the cookies or whatnot. So if I got everything else lined up, like I'm supposed to, then it's going to create better habits for me. And pretty much starting this journey of being healthy, I had to pretty much empty out, our pantry and making sure when I go to the store, when I go to Costco or Kroger, that I'm buying the right items, healthier items. Because I know if I don't, I know it's going to happen.
I mean, that's a huge part of it for me as well, is out of sight, out of mind. If I don't buy it, I don't have it close by, I'm not going to go to it. Now, and I love what FG just posted on here. The reason that she's making the health choices is to prevent, generational disease. You all can read it right there. I mean, that's an amazing comment right there, because that's setting an example. That's leading by example, for your children, and for other people. It's inspiring to others too, and that's a beautiful thing, is whenever what you're doing or just even talking about it. That's what I get excited about. So when Z and I talk, I get excited about this because that's amazing, that you're doing that, not only for yourself, but for the others, for the people in your life, for them to see. So congrats to you, and keep up the good work there, FG. we talked about keeping those things. Now, I'm not going to lie to you all. I can't eat clean all the time.
No.
I do try to have, a cheat day in there. And, my favorite thing to eat is I love pizza.
Yeah.
I could eat pizza every day.
Yeah.
I really could.
I
really could.
I could too.
And then pizza week's coming up, not this week, but the following week. So everybody, shout out to all the pizza places in Louisville, Kentucky. If you're in Louisville, pizza week is that week. So
maybe we can do a live podcast from the pizza spot.
Hey, there we go. There we go. But so I love pizza. So, I mean, I would treat myself, once a week on that. Where I've gotten to more recently, I eat pizza once a week. I'm not as...
We do too. We have pizza every Friday. It's our tradition. We have pizza every Friday. I don't want to get into what kind of pizza you like.
Well, I was getting ready. I don't know that honestly, that's music to my ears, and that kind of makes me want to stop. Maybe we'll save that. Let's put a pin in that. Maybe we can finish that. The show with that, because I'm always wondering the best spot in town, looking for new stuff. But ice cream for me lately has been kind of my thing. I love this Tillamook Neapolitan ice cream. It's the strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. Get a little bit, man. But anyway, it's okay, and I think it's good to reward ourselves for all the hard work that we do put in. You can't just constantly do that, like just grind your body. You have to be somewhat understanding and give yourself some grace when it comes to it. If you have a bad day, you eat something, okay, all right, well, maybe you just run a little extra, do some more push-ups or something else. But, the snacks, I go back. So I know Z and I share an affinity and a love for Costco. Yes. It's hands down my favorite store. I get a lot of good stuff from there. Part of my diet, you talked about, you're not a big morning person like eater wise. My morning, I'll start with like a protein shake. I'll do a protein shake. So I'll make sure I get some protein into like a banana.
Yeah. My wife is very similar. She has a protein shake, eats a banana as well.
Yeah. I think for me, it's a good way to start. Plus I try to do, I don't calculate it. Again, I'm not that strict on it, but the idea is that you're supposed to, take in 1 gram of protein for pound, body weight. Yeah. And that's a lot, so I got to try to start early, getting that protein in early. But just different snacks. I mean, there's some good snacks out there at Costco. I try to, Metrics bars. I like those. They're pretty clean. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. When I'm buying snacks and things, not like low sugar stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll say, to just piggyback off, we talking about the cheat meals and whatnot. It's okay to treat yourself. I agree with that as well. You just want to make sure you're creating, better habits. If you're 80, 85, 90% clean, pretty much you're eating, healthy the right way. And every now and then you have something, to treat yourself, that's fine. But the main thing, you want to create, better habits, and also that trickles down to your kids as well. If you have kids, so that make sure they're eating the right way. Definitely want them eating wrong and eating fast food, because then they're going to grow up, be the same way. And then their kids going to be eating unhealthy. So that's, you just want to create good habits. I just want to point that out in regards to habits and snacks wise. I can't really think of, but the bars is obviously, I always carry like some kind of healthy bar with me at work. If I'm feeling like I haven't got too much to eat, then I will have like a little healthy bar. So, but also too, one thing I did start at work when it comes to my diet, I started eating earlier.
Okay.
Like I used to go like 1 or 2 or maybe sometimes 3 o'clock. And what would happen is I wouldn't be hungry until later on that night, like 8, 9, or 10 or something, and then I'm eating and I'm laying down.
Yeah.
So I started eating at 11, eating my meal prep. Then I would probably need like a little bar or something to get me through the end of the day. But now I'm eating earlier, like around 4, by like 5 or 6 when I get home. That way my food's digested. I lay down, I'm getting a better sleep.
Yeah.
And that has helped. And so actually, helped me, when I'm able to get up in the morning if I wanted to work out. It helps with that routine as well. So I definitely encourage that and make sure, because you always hear that, don't eat so late and lay down on that.
Yeah. So give your body an opportunity to digest it, and not taking in a bunch of calories laying down, and that's because that turns to fat.
Yeah.
I'm pretty consistent. Like when it comes to my lunch, like noon. Like
that's still fine. Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm like almost like clockwork. Like my body has gotten like I'm hungry at noon. I'm going to lunch at noon. For lunch, I mentioned the breakfast. I mentioned the protein shake and the banana. 12 o'clock rolls around. My lunch will consist. I do wraps. So I go to the deli. I like boar's head. My favorite is the blackened turkey.
Okay.
I
love turkey. Yeah.
It's good. It's spicy. It's got a good little spice to it. But I'll get like a wrap, and I'll make my own. So I like spinach wrap, something like that. I try to stay away from white enriched flour.
Okay.
That's how far down the rabbit hole I've gone.
Yeah.
Like,
I've always heard that too.
Try to stay away from that.
Yeah, you do like a wheat wrap, something like a wheat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those, I like the spinach ones, because some of the wheat ones for me, depending upon, can kind of get a little grainy. I'll do the wrap. I'll do I think there's a horseradish kind of mayo. I try to stay away from mayo, so I don't use a lot of it, but just enough to where it's not just straight dry meat and cheese and wrap. But I like a Havarti cheese. I ate a lot of fruit. My favorite, I love blackberries.
Okay. I don't. That's one thing I don't eat a lot of blackberries.
Yep. I love Costco. I'm telling you, Costco in the cold section there. Go in there, blackberries.
So we do a lot of strawberries and green grapes. That's usually what our routine, and we put them in like a little baggie, so that way, if we need like a snack as well, late night we can go to the fridge, get one of the little baggies for a little quick sugar snack. So that way we got a healthier option in front of us instead of something else in the fridge. And we pack those in lunch as well. So that's something we always prepare on Sundays and have them throughout the week for the kids and I. So that's
great snack, and that's natural sugars, So I mean, your body, you're still fueling your body with some of those carbs, those carbohydrates, through the sugars and stuff like that.
But blueberries and blackberries, those are actually some of the most healthiest fruits to have. Yeah. So
I love them all. Honestly, I really do. Raspberry, but the clementines or mandarins, the cuties, the little cuties. I eat 2 to 4 of those a day. They're easy, nice, quick, easy snack. They peel easy.
Yep. Feel easy. Yep.
Apples. So again, just lots of fruit. So it's some type of protein, wrap thing there, and then some fruit to go along with it. Now, every now and then, if I don't have, or just maybe to switch it up, I've been hard boiling eggs quite a bit lately.
Yeah. At one point, we used to do that a lot as well. My wife was on a certain diet; she had a lot of hard boiled eggs as well. And I've always heard that was good for you to have. So
they're a lot of protein in there. It's a good, and they're easy.
Yeah. And then eggs just went up to crazy amount in the store. So I was like, we're gonna do it. So the eggs was ridiculous at one point, man.
I've been trying to buy
like a paycheck for some eggs.
They are. You're right. You're not wrong at all. If you can find somebody that does not wild eggs, that's crazy. But I'm saying organic, like fresh eggs, that have chickens.
Yeah, get it right from the chicken.
It'd be great to go out there. I was for a walk with my wife this morning, and I was talking about. I was like, I'm to the point now where I would love to be able to have chickens and my own garden, and then figuring out how to source my own meat later than that. But that's But
I've been seeing more of that on social media, man. Where people been, because stuff is high now, honestly, but people have been wanting to grow their own, their own things, and raise their own animals. So not a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know what's going into it.
Yeah. What's going into it, Yeah. No steroids, none of that stuff that they put in food now. So yeah. Something to look into. Yeah.
And so dinner wise, what do you all, I know you kind of talked about the meal prep with either chicken or baked chicken or baked fish, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So are you eating like alternating that every day? You do one for lunch and one for dinner? Like what else?
We'll alternate it. Yeah, usually we'll have like the chicken with the veggies or the sweet potato, for lunch, and then for dinner it's usually the baked fish, usually tilapia or so, with rice and some steamed vegetables.
Yep.
That's usually what we have for dinner, and that's usually what we have. And we've been doing that pretty straight now. We've definitely been on it every last 3 or 4 months. That's what we consistent on. And it's been working.
Yeah.
It's been working. It's been keeping weight down, been losing weight for us. Our energy has been up. And also too, what people understand about meal prep, even though it is a little time consuming, but you have all your meals ready for the week and you're saving money. Think about how much money you spend in to go to lunch. I don't know how much you may spend for lunch a day, but these days you can spend $15, $20 for lunch, quick, every day.
Absolutely.
Every day.
I bring my lunch every day. I've been kind of, consistently for the last several years. That was honestly one of the two biggest things. One was I taking what I like. I know it's clean. I've got in there what I want, and the cost.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I saw somebody posted something the other day. It was $20 for a burger and fries. Now we're talking Five Guys.
Yeah.
But
still,
I haven't been to McDonald's. I don't do a lot of fast food.
Right.
If I do, honestly, my fast food is more like a Chipotle, Qdoba, Bubba Coos type thing where I'm getting, a bowl.
Yeah.
And then every now and then Jimmy John's.
Yeah. Jimmy John's. I ain't had Jimmy John's in a while.
But even that, I mean, that's like $15.
Yeah. Like even the day before we went to church, I made sure to to unthaw the chicken, get it ready so that when I got back, it's ready to go. I pop that bad boy in the oven, and have my potatoes already. I put those in there as well. And then right before I came over, make sure I peeled them, had everything ready to go. So a little time consuming, but if you get a routine down, hey, when you put in your body, you'll be able to save money. Have everything ready to go. Just be clean. So once you get a routine in, it's like clockwork. You get used to it.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, right? I mean, we work. You go to work. You come home. I love to cook, so I do a lot of the cooking in my house. But there are days that I come home and I just don't feel like it. And then what do you do? Like it would be so easy. You'd be like, let's get a pizza.
Yeah.
Again, I love it. It's easy.
Yeah. Or if you meal prep, with the lunch and dinners like we do, hey, right there, put it right in the microwave right there. It's ready to go, and heat it up and you got it. Because especially if you're working a 9-to-5 job like we do, you don't have much time. You got kids and everything. Time is very, very precious. So that's another part of it too.
Absolutely.
Get everything ready to go, you can just boom.
Yeah. So. No, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's a fantastic idea. I need to look into doing that. Kind of set me up, easy, like you said, easier for the week. Now, one of the things that I'll make that I like is quick and easy is, again, I mentioned bowls earlier. I'll use ground beef, a lot. I do, ground beef, taco seasoning, white rice, black beans. You can get your black beans out of a can. I started buying, the bags and making my own. Little prep time in it, but again, once you've made those things, you got those for a while.
Yeah.
And then, you get a little salsa on there, whatever you like. I personally try to stay away from cheese. I don't put any cheese on mine. I don't put any sour cream on it. So, I don't do a lot of dairy. Honestly, I don't do a lot of dairy.
I think about it. I don't do a lot either. I mean, I'm, especially bad with milk, lactose.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with that.
Right. I hear you. But again, that's a quick, easy one that I make a lot, but I for dinners, a lot of time it's just like, how can I get protein?
Yeah.
Steak, chicken, I'll do chicken and rice. It's either chicken and rice, it's either steak, or ground beef, like a bowl or something like that. with black beans. You can do refried or,
Mhm.
whatever kind of bean you like. But that's just kind of one of the things that I do when it comes to that,
Okay.
like for my dinners.
Okay. Good. All right. We're going to get into a little fun topic here.
Sure. Let's change gears.
We'll change gears a little bit. Look, my Georgia Bulldog hat on. They won yesterday. So I'm just saying.
They did. They had a tough time, though. It took them, the third string quarterback having to come in for them to win?
I don't remember that.
Not for Georgia, but for Florida, right?
Well, I mean, you get knocked out the game. I can't help that.
And speaking of getting knocked out, did you see the police in the stands beating up people?
I
don't know what they did, but there's a YouTube or not
hat
YouTube, but
cricket
video out there.
Hat was crooked. One thing with my kids been wearing my hat. So
Bulldogs got back on the winning track, though.
Yeah, it is. Louisville did too.
Cards had a big win. That's honestly, I mean, probably the biggest road win that they've had in a long time. I think I saw a stat where they talked about it was the first team to win a night game in Clemson in like 13 years. Mm-hmm. So you don't go to Clemson on a night, for a night game and win.
Yeah.
Now, somebody was saying today, what's Dabo do? So Dabo, they had the Aflac stat. Did you see it? So the Aflac stat was there are only 4 teams in all of college football, I guess FBS,
okay,
or FCS. So I get those two mixed up. Anywhere that does not start an NIL or transfer portal player.
Oh yeah, he brought that up. Yeah.
So Clemson was one, and then the 3 academies. So Dabo may have to change his tune there a little bit.
I think so. They talked about. I remember hearing about that. Probably about a few weeks ago. Yeah, he's definitely have to change that. You got to pay players now. Yeah. I mean, Ohio State's spending $20 million or so. So you want to compete, you got to pay somebody.
I was watching the pregame on that, and they were talking about they used that stat. They said they spent $20 million to what was the word that they basically to put together their roster, right? I mean, that's NFL stuff right there.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a college kid, what would you do? What would you do? I mean, I'd be the same way. Like, hey, if I can take care of my family, how much you paying?
Yeah, I mean, it's come up quite a bit. It's happened mid-season.
Yeah.
Mid-season. Yeah. There was a kid like week 3, UNLV, week 4, something like that. There were two kids, I think, from UNLV that sat. I don't know what they're going to do. I was saying, make those kids sign contracts, but then I didn't realize in order to do that, you have to say that they are an employee of the university, and then that opens up a whole nother can of worms. So
yeah. I think Gino Oriyama, the UConn girls coach, he was saying put contracts on kids, and that way they're not transferring back and forth. So that way they can make some money, and that way it's set. That was not so much back and forth between the kids and all the transferring. Because I mean, if I was a high-profile quarterback and I had 2 or 3 years in college, why not transfer each year and get, hey, you're going to pay me $10 million. Okay, next year you're going to pay me 20, who knows what. Why not?
Yeah, the number just goes up, right?
Why not? Especially if you're going to a good school. Why not? That's hard to pass up.
Well, and the problem there for me is then that there are only a certain amount of teams that can compete in that space.
Yeah.
Ohio State, Texas, Alabama,
Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, the bluest of blue blood, Tennessee, but
they said Texas A&M and
Texas A&M.
Oklahoma State. Them 2 programs got a lot of money. Got some big boosters, but they got to have some money. So that's the reason why they probably win. That's the reason why those programs win every single year. Their conference or their championship. So got to have some money.
Absolutely. You mentioned Gino Auriemma. Just kind of a local news here. I want to say congratulations to Zakiya Johnson and her family, Butch, Tanisha, Omari, and Bryce. Zakiya is a senior, I believe, at Sacred Heart.
Okay.
I think she was 3-time or is 3-time, Women's Player of the Year, KHSAA.
Okay.
And Sacred Heart's won like 4 state championships in a row. She just signed with LSU. She picked LSU over U of L.
Okay. Zakiya?
Zakiya.
I love the Z's.
She's tough, man.
There we go.
She's tough.
Well, congratulations, Zakiya.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get education. and hopefully they paying you.
You know, I'm not going to say that. I don't know. I just know the family.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right. I mean,
make some money, you know.
Absolutely.
I know I was in college, you know, all I had was ramen noodles and $10 in my name. So, hey, I know what it is. So, hey, yeah. One thing I did want to ask you about, we didn't get into last week, the story about the kid in Oldham County.
Okay.
He got a 36 on his ACT.
Yeah.
What would you do if you got a 36 on the ACT? First off, congratulations. But you know what he said. Yeah. What was his comment? He said, "Hey, you just gotta, you know, take it one question at a time, or just, you know, just be calm about it." And he was so smooth about it, like it was nothing.
Well, that kind of goes, you know, obviously a smart kid, right? To begin with, you got, you know, you're not going to luck into a 36. I lucked into, I think, a 24, but yeah, 36, you're not going to luck into. So smart kid, you know, but then also, like, I was reading something the other day where it talks about, you know, if you're nervous going into something or about something, is that a lack of preparation? So maybe, you know, did he prepare? So anyway, that's where like the whole thing of like kind of being calm, that's kind of what's going at with that. But to your point, like, what would I do? Man, it just depends. Like, you know, when I was coming out of high school, I wanted to, honestly, I wanted to go to Notre Dame because my grandfather loved Notre Dame. So I wanted to go to Notre Dame.
Okay.
That was my dream. And actually I applied to Notre Dame and UK and U of L, and I got into UK and U of L, but I never even heard back from Notre Dame. So,
well, what I would say, if I got 36 on the ACT, you couldn't tell me nothing. You would not be able to tell me nothing. You might try the same thing to me. You couldn't tell me anything. So when this open mouth, like, I got 36 on the ACT, you know that, right? What are you talking about? You know what you're talking about. But yeah, or if my kid got one too, if you know my kids got one, I'll be bragging to the end of the earth. But yeah, I was originally supposed to go to Louisville, instead of Lindsay. The coach ended up getting let go like 3 weeks before state track meet, and so Lindsay at that time was up there. The coach had saw what I'd done, and he pretty much offered me one on the spot, and invited me down for a visit. But Dave was able to give me a full ride. UK was still, I got into UK as well, but UK was just still building their program back up and only gave me a partial scholarship. And I never heard anything back from the Louisville coach at that time. But yeah, I was headed to go to Louisville. I had told even my basketball coach at that time, when they was doing like how they do like an announcement and homecoming. Yeah. And you walk out with your parents. Hey, such and such parents, and they're headed to this school, or they're headed to the Army, or whatnot. And mine actually said, "Oh, Zayman Graham is headed to Louisville." I was like, "Hey, I'm pretty much going." And, he pretty much offered me the ride. I had a full ride to go. But
he ghosted you?
No, he didn't ghost me. No, he got fired.
Oh, who was it? Don't tell me
it was a track coach. I can't think of his name, but I ended up seeing him while I was at Lindsay my freshman year. He ended up being like in Indiana as assistant coach. Okay. I think he got let go for some shady stuff. I'm not, getting into that. Hearsay. Yeah. But yeah, so I was originally supposed to be up here in 04.
All right.
But I made it up here in 2010. So it's all good. It's all good.
Absolutely.
What was got here commercially?
A bit of a Blue Devil. So going back to the 36. Back to 36. So again, congratulations to that kid. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
So I had a cousin who went to Manual that got a 36. And Adam went to like Chicago Institute. I can't remember, and that's bad on me. But he went to a school in Chicago, like crazy smart, then moved out west to like Colorado, like maybe like Colorado Springs, something like that. And I like to think that he's basically like, a rocket scientist, that's what he does. Probably beyond, like Big Bang Theory stuff, if you like that show or you've seen that show. But yeah, I don't know, man. That scares me. That scares me to think that, people like that smart, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Elon Musk stuff right there.
Yeah, I think I had one kid went through it. He might got a 34. He ended up going to Vanderbilt, which is a great school to get into as well.
Yeah.
So I think I remember being a senior year, and he was like maybe a sophomore in our classes. I'm in advanced chem. I was actually in advanced chem, by the way. He was in there in the front, and he could just get through the test and questions so fast, and then he ended up leaving to go to like another AP class. I was like, okay, he just too smart.
He had enough.
Yeah, had enough. He could do what he wanted to, pretty much. Yeah.
And so I was telling, and so I saw a story this morning as well. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
So I was watching the Today Show this morning, and there was a story about this lady, Joan. I think maybe Joan Williams was her name, and hopefully that's right. But anyway, this lady, she passed away recently, 108 years old. And the story about her, it's the end of the show that Willie Geist does, and he's talking about, a life well lived, I think is the little the piece that they do. But when she was 100 years old or something like that, she said, or 105, she set a world record. She signed up and she competed in the 50 meters. Mm-hmm. She ran it. I already told you, I would have asked you, how long do you think it would take a 105-year-old to run 50 meters?
2 days.
2 days. She ran it in 19 seconds, right?
Yeah.
It was a world record for someone over the age of 100. A year later, she signs up. She does the 100 meters, ran a 39, second 100 meters, at like 105 years old. And again, passed away recently, 108 years old. So kind of with that, would you want to live that long?
This might be selfish for me to say, but I'll just be real, to all our million subscribers we have out there. I said if I can make it to 80, I'd be good, but it's just whatever the good Lord has, where I'm supposed to be. But I want to be able to, take care of myself. Mm-hmm. I don't want to depend on nobody. That's how I feel, So, would it be nice to live to a century, Sure. But I want to make sure that I'm in my right mind. I can take care of myself, and if I can be beaten up, and possibly do what that lady did, yeah, it'd be nice to. But the way I'm beating my body up now, all running with suffering, who knows, especially how my back is now. So we'll see, but
yeah, I'm right there with you. Quality of life, right?
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. I know that's kind of how this, part of why this came about was, longevity. What can we do to prolong that? Right. As long as I'm living a healthy life, like you said,
yeah,
I go with the thing, like, I don't want to be a burden on my family.
Exactly. Exactly.
And, we all can't, like you said, the good Lord, has a plan for us. And, I can live my life the right way, and hope those things turn out well. And, been blessed and continue. Hopefully we'll be blessed. I know I will be, but anyway.
But that's why, creating better habits now and trying to stick to those habits, like I said in the last podcast, I have clients come up all the time. So if I knew if I was going to live this long, I would have, took better care of myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to look back and regret, so I know if I can put the work in now and put healthier habits in, I can be around here, long enough for my family to see. Like I said, I want to be able to see my daughter walk down the aisle. I want to see grandkids. Mm-hmm. I want to. There's more places I want to travel. There's more stuff I want to do, but you can't do all that stuff if you're not in the best health.
Right.
And that's one thing you cannot buy. You have all the money in the world, but if you can't buy, you can't buy that.
Two things. So you can never, they're the two most important things. I think this is my fault. Two most important things in life. There's only a finite amount of each is time and health.
Yeah.
That we talked about it and we're talking about it right now is I'd rather invest in my health now, while I can still enjoy it and then, hope to reap the benefits long term. Yeah. And that's why, it is expensive. Going back to what we were talking about, meal prepping and you know, food and the cost of, you know, you go to the grocery store now, you feel it. Everybody feels it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy too. Like when you look at it, like, why does it cost more to eat healthy? And that's a whole, I don't know.
Yeah, no. That's good.
You
know, my wife just was talking about that. You know, just why is that?
I have my theories and philosophies.
I'm not there. We can say that for a topic one day too. You know, that can be a good topic. We can get into that. You know, why? You know, but I do hate that is like that, because you know, healthier items do cost more. You know, going to Kroger compared to a Whole Foods is different.
Yeah, I mean, even in Kroger, they have the organic section of vegetables, and then the non-organic section. They look the same and everything, right?
Yeah.
It's just how they're sourced.
Yeah, but you know, and I remember seeing something on social media talking about the organic section, how small it is, and then the rest of the store is you know, is what it is, you know. So like, you know, why is that so small first off like that, and then why is everything so high right there? So what are you really trying to say?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So
one of the things that I want to get back to, I want to get back to the nutrition and diet piece of it, but more along the lines of like supplement type stuff,
like vitamins and stuff.
Yeah, vitamins and things like that. So, do you have any supplements, vitamins, anything that you're doing each day?
That's a great question. So every week, like I said, you know, Sundays is my meal prep day, my prep day for the week, getting myself ready. You know, is the preparing our vitamins, you know, something me and my wife both do. We have like a little tray from Sunday to Saturday and we fill our vitamins up. Hey, that's the way to stay on track of it. And so that way when each day we have like a little tube that we can put it in our lunchbox. But we have everything from like vitamin C, D, we have, you know, ginseng, we have potassium. Of course, she has her woman vitamins and stuff like that as well. We have fish oil, zinc. I know it's a big one there. I'm sure I'm missing a couple or so, probably about 7 or 8. I also, you know, and I also have my medical stuff, which is my high blood pressure medicine, and I take like an allergy before. But during my lunch is when I take those vitamins at that point around 11 or 12. So it's about 7 or 8, you know, fish oil, zinc, potassium, vitamin C, D, E, ginseng. I'm trying to think. They'll probably come to me here. A few more. What about you?
Well, I was smiling. I'm not smiling if you don't think I was making fun.
No.
Because here's the thing, because it made me, I love that because I have the same exact thing. And my wife and son make fun of me about that, you know, but I do. It was actually a Christmas gift. They thought it was funny to give me one.
Hey,
you know, they make fun of me getting old. So like I have a pill box, you know, I'm a pill, I do. I love it. I have a multivitamin.
Yep.
I have vitamin B12, vitamin D, I think it's 3, zinc. There's 5 of them. Yeah. And yeah, B12, multivitamin, D3, zinc, and I can't remember, but yeah, and then I take magnesium and potassium at the end of the day. But another thing that I do in the mornings, you know, we're talking about kind of supplements and stuff like that, is I take 2 capfuls of apple cider vinegar in the morning before I eat anything.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar.
Before I have, you know, my coffee or anything like that. Do that. Started taking creatine daily, 5 milligrams of creatine. That's supposed to help with recovery of my muscles. And muscle growth things as well. Water, it helps retain water. So actually, if you take it, you can kind of feel or seem a little bloated when you take creatine. I do take collagen peptides as well. You know, they have different ones that you can take.
And you said that was good for like the knees.
Yeah, like my joint health, things like that.
I need to look into that.
Now, it does make my fingernails grow faster, I feel like. And my hair, like, just, so like I'm not frustrated.
So, you know, say that again. So ladies out there, I didn't know, you know.
Collagen peptides. Again, for what it does for me,
Help your fingernails.
Well,
and
yeah, like your fingernails and your skin, and it's just a good.
You said helps hair.
My hair grows faster. Things like it just seems to grow faster. Like it just promotes like a healthy.
I need to look into that.
Yeah. It's not something. I mean, I can't grow that back, so that's not. That just kind of actually makes it more of a nuisance because then I just got to shave more often. But yeah, those are really the kind of the supplements that I take. And again, electrolytes, with water and stuff, just to help stay hydrated.
Yeah, I think I probably had a post, about some of my vitamins. I think turmeric, for inflammation support. Apple cider vinegar is what I was missing for digestion. Fish oil for heart health. Ginseng for energy and immune support. Vitamin D, of course, for bone and immune health. Potassium for muscle function. And of course, zinc to boost my immune system, and then a daily vitamin as well. So, just a few things we take there that I want to kind of point out. But yeah, that's a great question, and you got to stay consistent with it. I hate when I miss it. If I'm in a rush and I miss it, I get home, I'm like, man, I didn't take my vitamins today.
Yeah,
body needs that. Could be some things you're missing in your diet. Our diet's not perfect. And those supplements can, be the ones that kind of fill those gaps in. So I definitely encourage you. Hey, it may look like an old timer thing to have your pill. What do you call it again?
Little pill box.
Little pill box. But hey, it definitely helps your body. So we need all the nutrients we can get, all the vitamins we can get. So I definitely enjoy filling that up and taking them. So definitely does help.
I think one of the big things that I left off as well when it comes to diet and health is alcohol. I stopped drinking alcohol, a year and a half ago. And that's a key thing that I've cut out. Just like those unwanted calories, those extra calories, and my life has been much better for it in so many different ways, not just physically and health, but mentally and that as well. That's something we'll get into, or I plan on getting into and sharing a little bit more about is my relationship with alcohol, kind of in the future. So
I piggyback off that. I'm definitely the same way. I'm about a year and a half as well. I think about 3 months ahead of me. So definitely a lot of energy, a lot of water weight comes off from drinking alcohol. So a lot of benefits from life as well, not just health, but that's something we definitely will both get into, something we both share, is that is dealing with that. So yeah. Well, any Q&A questions? If not, we'll probably wrap up here in a little bit. I hope y'all like this shirt right here. It's my first time wearing it, Ace Ventura. You think this is the greatest Jim Carrey movie of all time?
Man, it was a great one. Einhorn and Finkel and Einhorn. Dan Marino.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite movies growing up, man. Alrighty then. But we definitely want to thank everybody for joining today. You can follow us on Instagram at BaldBoyz502,
Twitter or X,
or BaldBoyz502. Of course, subscribe to our YouTube page. Tell your friends and your family about us, whatnot. We're going to be coming at you probably about twice a week as we continue working on our schedules here. But Sunday probably gonna be a strong day for us, where we'll be coming at you.
And we are going to have some guests on as well.
Yep.
Something we've talked about, and I know we plan on doing. Still kind of logistically trying to figure some things out.
Yep.
As far as like doing the show. So
yeah.
Appreciate everyone that's supporting us. I've had some friends and family, go back and watch that weren't able to watch originally, and give us some feedback and things like that. Very supportive. So I want to thank everyone that that contributes to the show by asking questions.
Yeah.
And again, so appreciate all you all.
Yeah, it's been fun. Continue to send feedback, like E said. We'll probably be showcasing a few running clips here recently before it gets too cold as well. So yeah, any feedback, put in the comments there. We'll love to hear from you. All right, so all right. Let's see if I can end this right.
Let's go.
Let's try. All right. Let's see here.